Alrighty then, hold on to your gadgets. After today's tech update, we've got a call from my weekend show, The Kim Commando Show, that's just too good to skip. 18 years ago, Google reached its most important milestone. Both the Oxford English Dictionary and Merriam-Webster added the word Google as both a verb and an adverb to mean searching for something on the web. Today, Gen Zers don't Google, and a growing number of older folks don't either. I'm Kim Commando for NetSuite. Download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/Kim. Now you're asking, if they don't Google, what do? They search. Google has lost its magic. Gen Zers were born between 1997 and 2012. Gen Alpha was born after 2012. Both are the first generations to have their entire lives online. They were born with Google, and both are discovering AI chatbots like ChatGPT and all the others. While you may automatically think of searching as Googling, they don't, and they never will. You're not seeing Google's death, but Google is no longer the only game in town. Enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 right now at winfromkim.com.
Hey, have you heard about The Current? It's this amazing free tech newsletter that keeps you in the loop about everything: AI, making money, and insider tips to get ahead at work and life. Everything is tech now. I can't afford to fall behind, and neither can you. In just 5 minutes a day, that's it. The Current makes it so easy to stay ahead without feeling overwhelmed. Join 500,000 people at getthecurrent.com. It's free. Don't be left behind. That's getthecurrent.com. Sign up now. Getthecurrent.com.
Now, check out this amazing call from the show. It's a real gem. Greg in Columbia, South Carolina. Hey there, Greg.
Hey, how you doing? First time caller here.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg. What took you so long?
Well, I listen to mainly, to be honest, always in the car and podcasts and things like that because I'm just interested in all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. All right. So what's going on?
Yeah. Well, the email is, it's just so much full of trash, and 50% of what I get doesn't pertain to anything but people phishing. Mm-hmm. When you look at your email on the computer and you put your cursor over it, the address that pops up across the bottom of the screen, I mean, it's the whole screen. It's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with it.
Sure.
I had a brother-in-law years ago, and he's no longer here, unfortunately, but he had some type of service. He was a financial advisor, and if you sent him an email, you would get an email back saying, hey, you need to acknowledge this email, and from now on, you'll be able to get David. So I'm sitting here wondering, well, where is that kind of service? And I have Googled, and I just can't seem to find it, but I know it existed years ago.
Right. You know who had that many, many years ago was Earthlink. But they had to get rid of it because too many people were not being able to use it. They were missing email. They were complaining, things like that. You know, when we start talking about just getting overwhelmed in email, the first line of defense, then we'll talk about what you're looking for, is that you have multiple email addresses. So you have one email address that is, Hot Greg in South Carolina, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That you're going to use for maybe if you're online dating, and then you're going to have another email address for your newsletters, another one for your business, another one for your family, another one for your personal. And then every time you sign up for something new, is that like with Apple, you have hide my email now, or you can use Google. And so if you were like Greg in South Carolina at gmail.com, you could say Greg in South Carolina plus Kim Commando at gmail.com. So all of my newsletters is going to come to you at that particular address, because anything after the plus sign in Gmail is ignored. But if somebody has compromised or sold your email address based on if you start getting other weird emails associated with that address. So your email needs to have like a complete overhaul right now. Okay. And that may solve the problem. Because you're not just having everything just come in and then somebody sold the email address and you opened it up. And then, after you opened it up, you realized it was spam. But unbeknownst to you is that when you opened it, you got to the top of the food chain because it's like, this is a great email address, right? So, so basically what you're looking for is something like, for example, that I have on my phone, and Google has it as part of Google Voice, that before the caller comes through, they have to say who they are. And it's called active screening. Okay. And with active screening on your email, there is a service called Blue Mail that does this. It's $5 a month. And so if you accept them, the messages will appear. If you decline, you never hear from them again. Now, whether or not it's actually worth the $5 a month is that if you cleaned out your mailbox, the folks that are spamming you are probably not going to use the same email address again. So before you think of active screening, and this is why this product category never really took off, by the way, for email, because they don't use the same address. So if you say no to this time, it's kind of like call blocking. You can block the call if it's a spam call, but doesn't mean you're never going to get another spam call again from somebody else, right?
That's true.
So I think instead of paying for this, what I'd like you to do is to spend some time putting together a couple of email addresses that you use, and then you can start deleting the old email address as you start transitioning to using different email addresses, and then you have a smart email management solution that works for you. Now, if you need any help putting that together, we got tons of tips on the website. Just search for Email Manager, email management over at Komando.com. That's with a K, of course. And Greg, thank you so much for your call. Big virtual hug for listening. Now, if you want your questions tackled, head to Komando.com and find that link that says Email Kim. Yes, sirree. Every single note you send me becomes my must read. Hey, be the tech guru among all your friends and fam. Sign up for my free newsletter over at getkim.com.